Wherever you are tuning in from, I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy to be here. This is going to be a really fun one. I've got my electric guitar today. We're going to be learning All Right Now by Free. So, all of the chords, all of the solos, we're covering everything today. So this is going to be a really fun one. Definitely geared towards my intermediates, my advanced students, but my beginners, I want you along for the ride for this one, because this one is very, very fun to play. I'm going to give you a couple things, my beginners, to play and to work towards, okay? So there's something here for everybody. All right, Alex V, I see you. Welcome, welcome. It's always good to see everybody tuning in. So before we get started, you know, I always like to ask a question. Let me know where you're tuning in from, okay? And let me know your favorite guitar solo, because I know this is one of my favorite guitar solos. So this is a great one. It'll be a lot of fun. We are in standard tuning. Definitely electric guitar for this one, because if we're playing this on acoustic, it's gonna be a little tough, particularly towards the end of the solo. All right, so gonna go over this part by part, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun. So here is All Right Now by Free. Don't worry, we're going to be doing all the solos too. We're going to first look at this part. Again, really, really fun chords here. Really cool voicings. Paul Kossoff, I mean, just a magician and a mighty guitar player, and I am so honored to be teaching you guys how to play this one today. So before we get started, let's see where everyone is tuning in from. Thank you all for being here as always. All right, we got Chicago in the house. We got Jupiter, Florida, upstate New York. Welcome. Ypsilanti, Michigan. We've got South Carolina. We've got Scottsdale. We've got the UK, Orlando, Florida, Myrtle Beach. This is great. Munich, Germany. Welcome. Illinois. This is fantastic. Chicago, Ontario, New Mexico. Thank you all for being here. Let's go ahead and get started with this. So, what we're going to do here, first finger, lay it across the second fret of the D string, G string, B string, and E string. Okay, just like this. We're going to be playing an A5 power chord, but not quite in the way you think. This might be new to some of you. So what we're going to do here, it's going to be a bit of a stretch, okay, but it's worth the effort, I promise. Fourth finger, placing that on the E and the A, okay? Seems like a bit of a stretch, but again, as I mentioned, it's totally worth it. Your fourth finger, fifth fret of that B string, that's your E. Fifth fret of that E string, that's your A. So if we were to play this, it's a nice, really cool, expressive, open A5 chord. This is what we're playing. We're playing all the same notes. We're playing A and E's, right? We're playing in a very cool and open way. So what we're doing here is that first finger, I'm having you put it on the second fret, so it gives you a little bit more of a foundation when you're reaching with that fourth finger, okay? So the notes that you're playing on the second fret of the D string and G string, there's E and there's A. And then you're playing E and A again here. So you're kind of doing like this cool double octave thing, but yeah, that's the A5 power chord. Really neat way to play it, right? And get that open A string in there too. So when we first start the song, it opens with that chord. All right, and again, it's worth the stretch. That thumb, I want it in the middle of that neck, okay? We don't want the thumb up here. It's gonna make reaching for this chord completely impossible, all right? So making sure that that thumb is at the middle of the neck, it's going to allow the hand to stretch quite nicely, okay? So that's the chord we're looking for there. Really fun one. Now, After that, strike the open A string, and that's the chord, or this chord we're gonna play, okay? So this is a really cool D chord, so let's get to playing this one. So we're gonna get our first finger here, 2nd fret, again, same place as we had it before for the last chord. 2nd fret of the D string, G string, B string, E string, okay, just like that. 2nd finger reaching to play the D note, 3rd fret of that B string, 3rd finger reaching to play the 4th fret of the D string, that is F sharp right there, okay? So you're gonna strike the open A, and then play this chord, all right? So let's go ahead and do those two together. I'm gonna do this nice and slowly for those of us who aren't used to stretching a lot with guitar chords. This may take a little practice to get nice and fluid and clear, okay, nice and clean. So we're just gonna really take our time like we always do, okay? So here we go. Okay, and then we would go back to that A5. So that's how we're gonna do it, okay? So that A5 to that D chord to that A5. Notice how I'm keeping that first finger right there, stationary. That's our foundation, okay? So just like that, let's go ahead and do that again. We're gonna take our time with this. We're gonna do this a few times, all right? Follow along. Let's do that again. Just like that. Notice how my head, I'm bobbing to the time, okay? Nice and slowly, here we go. One more time. Just like that. Now one more for good luck. And tap your foot as you do this. You can't see it, it's off camera. Maybe you can hear it. There's my foot tapping, okay? One more time for good luck. Now, the next chord here is gonna look like this. Isn't that awesome? So this is another really cool version of the D chord with that G note in there. When we really break down these chords, quite beautiful. Now, as we look at this here, that may look really funny, but this is a shape that's familiar to you guys, I promise. So, we're just using different fingers to play it. Okay, so check this out. So, we're gonna use this first finger, we're gonna come back to it, but with this chord, I don't want you using the first finger yet. Your 4th finger, place it on the 5th fret of that A string, that is your D note, that's going to be the root of this chord, okay? 3rd finger, 4th fret of the D string, that's F sharp. We're gonna have that open G string, like that, in case you forgot what the open G string sounds like that. And then your 2nd finger on the D note, 3rd fret B string. So it should sound like this. I'll play that again. Just like that. Okay, so before we strike that chord, go ahead and play the open A string. Place the pinky down. Strike the chord. Okay, so in context, it's going to sound like this. And then we put the first finger down, lift the pinky. Back to that D chord, okay? Nice and slowly again, all right? To give it context, let's start from the top, nice and slow, okay? Can't play anything fast, we can't play slow, folks. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, stretch that hand again. The one-handed wave, pinky finger first. Bringing all the, there we go, there's the camera, this way. Okay, like this, and then a one-handed clap. Okay, that'll bring some blood flow back to that hand. All right, Let's go ahead and do that again from the top, a little faster. Let's do that again. One more time. A little faster, here we go. So that right there, intro and verse, done. That's just like that. So again, nice and steady here, taking your time. Can't play anything fast, you can't play slow. These are chords you don't want to rush. All right, so we really want to make sure we take our time with this. We're getting that reach. Okay, we're getting things nice and clear. Don't worry. Yes, Robert, I know these chords are a little tough. But trust me, stick with it. All right? Making sure we get nice, good clarity. Our technique, we want to make sure is good. That thumb in the back of the neck, middle of the neck, pushing through, okay, is really going to help you stretch properly, grip the chords properly, all of that good stuff. All right, so again. Again. Doable, promise. Now, we're gonna rest our hands because guess what? To me, that's probably the most difficult part of the song is right there, is that chorus. Yes, we're gonna be learning the solo, the stretches here and the timing and the groove. To me, this is the trickiest part, so that we've covered, okay? But we'll come back to this. But that right there, I know a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, this is tough. Stick with it, I promise. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the chorus here. Okay, so the chorus is gonna go like this. One more time. Time for good luck. Notice all the groove there too. Notice how he's not overplaying it. It doesn't go like that. He picks and chooses where these chords go. Really allows the sustain to ring through. So I also do want to mention for the solo, I'm not using any overdrive. I'm in the second voicing here, so you can see how it kind of, see how they do that with these Fishman pickups. It's a button. Voicing 1 is down, and then voicing 2 you can pop up. So I have voicing 2 here just to give it a little more grit, a little bit more output, but I'm straight guitar plugged in straight to my Blues Junior. So that's how I'm getting the tone here. Now, there's a little overdrive, right? A little cool fuzz that's happening here on the tune. So when you're playing this and you want to use a little bit of dirt, feel free to do it. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I am going straight through these Fishman Fluence pickups in my Strat and going into the amp. So I did want to mention that. All right, so let's see here. So let's go ahead and look at that chorus. So I'm using my 4th finger here on purpose to play this power chord. So this is going to be another A power chord. We're playing it a different way. Tons of really cool voicings of chords in this song. So 1st finger, 12th fret of the A string, all right? 4th finger, okay, stick with me, there's a reason. 4th finger, 14th fret of the D string, that note is E. So you have A here and E here. You're gonna strike it 3 times. okay? With your third finger, grab the 14th fret of that E string. That note is F sharp. Then your first finger, grab E, 12th fret of the E string. So it'll look like this. Okay, let's do that again. One more time. Okay, so now to give it context, here's the next chord. See how that walk down from the F sharp to the E, when we go to that G5 power chord, works and sounds so beautiful. So what we're going to do there, gripping it in the same way, first finger 10th fret of the A string, that's our G note, fourth finger 12th fret of the D string, that's D. So that's a G5. Okay? Again. Pretty cool, right? One more time. Now, what we're going to do next, first finger, bring it back a half step to that 9th fret of the A string. That's our F sharp. So we're going to have a D here, where our fourth finger is, and an F sharp on top, 9th fret A string. Beautiful harmonies there. Okay? And then we go back to our A and E notes, okay? That A5. So, nice and slowly, here's the entire chorus, okay? Nice and slowly, here we go, follow along. Okay, here we go again. Two more times, here we go, guys. Last time. Now, I'm keeping my second and third finger tucked just so you can see these fingers here, but if I was playing it, these fingers would be nice and flush, okay? So. They would be hovering over the strings, but I'm doing this so you guys can see that a little bit better, okay? So let's see. I know this is tough for some of you. Here's something I do want to mention too. So, having your guitar set up properly really helps, especially if we're like in this region of the guitar, and trust me, we're going to be getting to like the 20th fret in this tune. Having a proper setup of your instrument is really going to help you play better. It's going to allow the notes to ring as they should, right? So it's there's a truss rod in a lot of these electric guitars. It's going to help bringing it to a pro who can help you get the guitar comfortable for you to play. So for some of these folks here who may not know this, so I'm going to do this. So see the strings and the fretboard here. So the space between the strings and the fretboard, that's called the action. So the higher the action is, you're going to have to press down a little bit more. If the action is really low, you don't have to press too hard. You're at the fretboard. If the action is really high, it's going to take a little time. Yes, Maryland guy, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. It could just be your guitar is not, the action is too high, so you just need to get a setup to have that action lowered. So don't think that you're a lousy player. You're not. It could just be that your instrument just needs a little TLC, all right? So you got this. I'm loving the positivity here. I'm loving the positivity. Yes, you can play this. Maybe just, bring your guitar, find a great luthier in Maryland who can help you who can help you get your guitar nice and set up, okay? So that's something I want to mention because I do read these comments and I want to make sure, you know, we're setting a good positive foundation for everyone who's learning here today, all right? So let's go ahead and look at the first guitar solo. So I'm breaking this up into 3 different ones, okay? So after that chorus, we're going to go into our first guitar solo. So it's going to sound like this. Let me play that correctly. Let's do that again. We're live. So, lots of bending happening here, but we're not doing a ton. It's a lot of the same motifs. All right, so let's go ahead and look at that here. So here's the first one. All right, so we're gonna break this down. I want you to get your second finger, placing that on the 14th fret of that G string. Okay, that note is A. Now your first finger, 13th fret of that B string. So we're gonna do this motif 3 times. Okay, again. And don't forget to alternate pick. Now, the next part to give it context. Okay, so let's look at that. What we're going to do here, you're going to get that 3rd finger, all right? You're going to place it on the 15th fret of that B string. That's going to be D, so you're going to bend it up. We're bending it up a whole step. Now, in this bend, notice how I'm using my 1st and 2nd finger to help me get to that pitch. Just like that, all right? So in context, let's do part 1. Again. Go back to the 13th fret of that B string. That note is C. We're going to strike the 14th fret of that G string again. We're going to strike it twice. That note is A. Then we're going to go back to C and just give it a little tug. We're not going to play the note true. Give it a little bit of a snarl there. Okay, so here we go. And I kind of pull down when I do that. Let's do that again. Now, as you get more comfortable, you want to add a little bit more slight vibratos in some of those notes. It can work. See how I gave it just a little bit of vibrato? When you're feeling more comfortable, feel free to add that in too. All right, so part 2 is that. So let's look at that part. So, 3rd finger, 15th fret of the B string, bend up. Bring it back down to true 15th fret of that B string. Just like that. Okay? Notice on the bend how I'm using the help of my 1st and 2nd finger to get me to pitch. 1st finger, 13th fret B string, C note. 15th fret B string, D. Back to C. 14th fret G string, A note, strike it twice. Okay? Let's do that again. Nice and slowly here. Bluesy goodness. One more time. And notice how I'm adding those little vibratos. Once you feel comfortable with where those notes are, add them in, okay? So, from the top, part 1, part 2. Part 2. Slide it out if you want. Again, from the top. One more time, quickly. Okay, so that's what it sounds like in time. So the next part is going to sound like this, similar to part 1, but we're going to change one little thing. Okay, so like this. Let me show you how to do that. So that motif comes back with C and A. And we're going to do it 3 times again. We're going to do it 4 times. I lied, 4 times. Then you're going to strike C, 13th fret of the B string, 2 times. I'll do it slowly. Here we go. One more time. Now with that second finger, place it on the 14th fret of the G string. We're going to strike that note 2 times, that A note. And then go back to that C note, give it a little bit of a bluesy snarl at the end. Here we go. A little vibrato, a little bend at the end. Let's do it again. Let's put them all together, all 3 parts so far. Okay, so here we go. Part 2. Part 3. Okay, so now part 4. This is the last part of solo 1. Goes like this. So here's how we do that. It's going to take a little bending and a good ear to get to reach up to that pitch, okay? A lot of whole step and step and a half bends that are happening here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. 3rd finger, placing it on the 15th fret of that B string. That note is D. Bend it up a whole step. That's the note you want. And give it a little wiggle to maintain the pitch if you'd like. Okay? You're now going to bring that 3rd finger, follow me here, 18th fret of the B string. Okay? And bend up there. So that's going to be another whole step bend. Just like that. So I like to mute, once I hit the pitch, at least in this song here, once I hit the pitch, I will mute the string with my right hand. Like that. So that's the next part. Those are the next 2 notes. 1st finger on the 13th fret B string. That's our C note right there. 2nd finger A note, 14th fret G string. And the final note in solo 1, 3rd finger, 15th fret E string. That's our G note. Bend it up a whole step. We're bending it up to A. Okay, so the whole thing, at least part 4, is going to sound like this. Again. One more time. Okay, give it a little vibrato at the end if you'd like. Of that bend. Having a guitar that is properly set up massively helps with stuff like this. Go to a pro. I'm seeing some people, how do you do it yourself? If you're not sure, go to a pro first. There are plenty of awesome resources to learn how to set up your guitar, but bring it to a pro first, get an idea of what you have to do, and then if you'd like to get some resources in teaching yourself how to set up your guitar, you can go ahead and do that. I know me personally, I always bring it to someone. I always bring it to someone. I'm gonna give him a shout out because I just love him. He's the coolest. So Eric Chaz in Van Nuys, California, that is who I bring my guitars to. So Eric's Guitar Shop is in Van Nuys, California, is where I bring my guitars to get set up. And if anything happens, Eric always takes good care of my guitar. So Eric, if you're watching, you're the coolest. Thanks for always making sure my guitars sound great. All right, so there we go there. Let's go ahead and, Tom, I love how you did this. You need a bass player on this segment. Well, here's what's happening. My beginners, okay? Here's the bass part. The bass part is friendly. Does the guitar play the bass part? No, because it's the bass part. But is it super awesome? Yes, and it's really fun to play. So this isn't part of what the guitar does, but I just love this part, and I was sitting here today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to teach you guys how to play this too, because these are my lessons, and I know you guys enjoy this stuff, and I'm like, I'm just going to do it. So here's the bass part. Okay, it's so cool. It's so cool. You're welcome, Tom. You're welcome, Tom. It's so cool. So let's do it. So notice how I'm muting it with my right hand. If I were to play it without, because we're trying to emulate a bass, even though we're playing a guitar, if we didn't do that, it really sounds like a guitar. But so here's what we're going to do here. We're going to mute it. This part of our hand here, right, the part that extends from where the pinky is, that fourth finger, okay? Here's that bridge. Put it right in front, even if you have a Les Paul or a different kind of guitar, just making sure that the hand goes in front of that bridge so we can start like getting that muted sound, okay? So we're gonna do here, get your fourth finger and play the A note on the low E string 5th fret, hit it twice. Or hit it 3 times, I lied, 3 times. Open E string. Then you play the F sharp 2nd fret E string. Let's do that again. 1, 2. Then we play A again. Let's do it open this time, open A string, hit it twice. 2 times, yes. Just like that. Now, if we want to go back, you can go back to that 5th fret too. So after that, after we hit that A note twice, open E string 1 time, F sharp 2nd fret. Just like that. So let's go ahead and play this. Or the open A string. I kind of like it on the E string a little better. Don't forget to alternate pick too, okay? Promise me you'll do that on this part. Now, this may seem familiar to you. We saw that in the chorus, okay? But we're gonna mute it this time, keeping that part of our hand here, part of our right hand, in front of that bridge, striking the G note, 10th fret of the A string, D note, 12th fret of the D string, F sharp to D. Okay, bring that first finger back to the 9th fret of the A string. Okay. it's the bass part. I know we don't play this on guitar, but I just wanted to include it. I think it's just so cool. All right, so now we're gonna look at solo 2, guitar solo 2, all right? So it's gonna sound like this. Okay, we're gonna break this down. So here we go. A lot of friendlier stuff here. Don't worry, we're gonna be higher up on the guitar in just a moment in part 3. But let's look at part 2 first. So what we're gonna do here, second finger, okay? Have it ready, open G string. Second finger, second fret of that G string, that's our A note. We're just gonna hammer it on. Now, if we listen back to the song, notice the sustain here, the breathing of this riff. This is not played fast. He's so listening to the groove. It is one of my favorite parts about Paul's playing is it's all groove. Tasty melodies and rhythms. It's awesome, okay? So really feel these notes out. Do not rush this part because it's all about feeling, all right? So from there, we're sliding from that A note up to B, 4th fret. And we're gonna do that twice. And then we're gonna make our way back from B to A, 4th fret of that G string to the 2nd. So far. Let's do that again. All right, one more time. Now, the last part, or the next part of this, so part 2, we just do that again. 2nd fret to the 4th fret, 4th fret back to the 2nd fret. So that interplay between A and B. Okay, so again, let's listen to those 2 parts. Okay, just like that, folks. And that was all 2nd finger. Didn't use anything else, okay? So now we're gonna do here is this part. You can use your 2nd or your 3rd finger on this, all right? If it were me, I would use my 2nd finger, but you can use either one, it's fine. So let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna allow this E string to ring underneath this riff here. So 2nd finger or 3rd finger, all right? Placing that on your D note, 3rd fret of that B string, okay? So we're there, awesome. Sliding it now to E, 5th fret. Now that E to F sharp, 7th fret. F sharp back to E. This figure will be repeated twice. Again. All right, so again, not too bad here. We're using 1 finger with these riffs in the 2nd part of the solo number 2. All right, so here we go, giving it context so far. Here's what we've got. Let's do that again from the top correctly because we're live. Repeat. So that's what's happening there. Now, what we're going to do here, that's going to be the last part of the solo. So you could do that way too. I'd probably do it that if it was me, or at least I'd do it that way. So second finger sliding from the 2nd fret of that G string to the 4th fret. 3rd finger, 5th fret of that E string, that's A. Kind of a country-ish little lick there. We're going to bend that 4th fret just a half step, playing that C, then back to true at B. Sliding it back to A to resolve. Okay, here we go again. All right, so that's what's happening there. Let's play the whole solo again, solo number 2. All right. Repeat. Let's do that one more time for good luck. We'll rest our hands here. I will take any questions you have. Again, this is a live Q&A, folks. So if you have questions, I'd love to answer them for you. Okay. And also too, if any of you are in LA, I'm playing tonight. Today is June 25th, 2022. I'm playing tonight at Hotel Cafe with my band. We're going to be playing some of our new tunes from the upcoming EP. So if you are in town, we're playing at Hotel Cafe's 2nd stage at 8 p.m. tonight. Tickets are $10. Come by, hang out, say hello, have merch and all that good stuff, and you'll get to hear some new tunes from the upcoming EP. And also too, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you guys the code for my Kickstarter. Those of you who have pledged, thank you so much. But I will go ahead and put that here. We are well on our way to creating our EP, and I have so many of you to thank for that. So there is the link. I will go ahead and put that there now. Those of you who have not pledged yet and would love to join the journey with me and my band, you can go ahead and click that link there. And also too, if you guys want to know about all the cool pickups and all the good stuff that Fishman is up to, I left a link in the video description, so be sure to check that out. They're doing some pretty cool stuff. All right, so that is solo 2. So for the remainder of this lesson, we're going to go ahead and look at solo 3. All right, so this is the part where we're going to be a little bit higher up. It's going to sound really fast, and I'm telling you, don't worry. Slow and steady wins the race here. Focus on technique. All right, we're going to take this bit by bit, part by part, note by note. You guys know the drill. So here's the beginning of solo 3. So I should probably play the whole thing. Let's play solo 3 and then we'll break it down. All right? It's a fun one. It's a fun one. We're playing some cool stuff. It looks different, but in fact, we're playing a lot of similar notes here. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this from the top of solo 3. So get your 2nd finger, sliding it from the 8th fret of that B string. So that is our G note. We're sliding it up to A, a whole step, 10th fret. Give it a little vibrato if you'd like. Okay. leave that second finger where it is. We're going to need it because we're starting off this part, which is part 2, from that A note. So follow along. We're going to do this slowly, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Second finger, 10th fret B string. That's A. Place your first finger 9th fret of that G string. That's your E note. We're going to be doing this hammer-on with our 3rd finger, F sharp, on the 11th fret of that G string. Like that. So, if I were to play this nice and slowly, and again, alternate picking here. All right, when we add speed, see how they start to blend into one another? It starts to sound very, very harmonious, okay? Now we do this a few times here. We're going to go to the 12th fret of that B string, bend it up. Okay? Let's do it again from the slide from G to A. Let's do that again. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Now, let's look at the second part. The second part, we're going to start from E instead, 9th fret of that G string. So it'll sound like this. Notice how they're different. The first one started at A. The second one started at E. So, there's our E, 9th fret G string. Here we go. Let's do this slowly. And then at the end of this, we're still going to bend at that 12th fret of the B string. Okay, so here we go. Again. Let's now combine both parts, okay? The beginning of part of solo 3, okay? Parts 1, 2, 3, here we go. Not bad, right? Slow and steady. All right, so here's the next part. Nice, friendly little lick in A major. So here's how we're going to do that. 3rd finger, bending at the 12th fret of that B string, bringing it back to true B note, landing on A, 10th fret of the B string. Okay. 11th fret G string. There's our F sharp. And back to A. Let's do that again. Now the next part, this is going to be doubled. We're going to play this part twice. It goes like this. All we're doing there, sounds a little country, right? What's neat about this, okay, is that the 4th finger, place that on the E note here, 12th fret of that E string, 3rd finger placing that on B, 12th fret of the B string, okay? We're going to strike that B note first, using the help of our 1st and 2nd finger, okay? We're going to bend up. Help that third finger bend up with your second and first. Now, this part I am hybrid picking. Could you just strike it with a pick only? You could. I like to hybrid pick because that's just a big part of my technique, and I just really like to do that. So I hybrid pick this. My second finger, I am striking upward on that E string. The pick is playing the B string, okay? And then you're going to bring it back to true. Playing that A note, 10th fret B string, F sharp, back to A. Okay? So it's going to go like this. And we're going to play it again. Okay? So let's start from the top of this solo. We are almost there, folks. We're almost there. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. Share a video with a friend. I'm always, always love teaching people how to play. So if you know someone who's learning how to play guitar, send my videos their way. Tell them I said hello. And yeah, these are such a blast. Again, you want to check out all the cool stuff Fishman is up to. I have a video, or I have a link in the video description. You can check that out. And if you'd love to support my Kickstarter, the link is in the comments below. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add it one more time. If you guys would like to pledge to my Kickstarter, I would be so grateful. So thank you all so much. And I'm doing this so I can give some of you a rest with your hands, because we're going to need it right after this. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of a break. All right, so there we go. There is the Kickstarter link right there. Those of you who love to pledge, it's up there for you. All right. Oh, I'm reading. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I want to give a shout out to Paul Davids. I got to meet him at NAMM, and man, is he just a lovely, genuine human being. I love what he is doing for music education. I love his YouTube channel. He is just an absolutely phenomenal human. I really enjoyed meeting him, and he was kind enough to invite me to be in his latest video at NAMM talking about bad advice. And yes, I got bad advice. Someone told me that you're on a timeline in your career, and I have found that to not be true. Everyone has a different journey, and everyone has a different timeline, so enjoy the journey. Everybody has a different definition of what success is, and I know with these lessons we have folks who are beginners and intermediates and advanced students, and look at us all coming together on these lessons. So we're all here to lift each other up, and that's a really important thing to me with these lessons. I want to make sure you guys play and enjoy the journey and being a musician. So anyway, shout out to Paul Davids, just all around cool dude. So yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the solo that we have done so far. So here we go. Okay, not too bad. Let's look at the next part. It sounds really high up on the guitar. That's because it is, but guess what? Kind of sounds familiar. We're playing the same notes, just in a different spot. Okay? First finger. We're going to be all the way up at the 17th fret. Okay? Right here. First finger, placing it on the 17th fret of the E string. Okay, that's our A, and then 17th fret of that B string, that's our E note, okay? All right, so we're here. Well, I lied. That's going to be a G note. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. We're hammering on with G this time, all the way at the 20th fret, okay? That's what we're doing there. Let's do it nice and slowly. Again. Doable, right? You can do this. It's a fun one. So, okay. We're going to bend at 20th fret, folks. That, we're going to bend up to A. Okay, so it's like we're bending to the 22nd fret. So that's what we want there, all right? Yes, that's 3 lies today. Making sure I want you guys to play the right notes. I don't want to tell you it's an F sharp when it's a G. So there you go. We got reckless 575 counting on the lies. But we're live. It happens sometimes. So that's what's happening there. That's the first one, all right? And if we do that slowly. All right, next part. Here's how we play that. Keeping that first finger down on the 17th fret of the E string and B string, strike A, strike E, go to the 20th fret, this time, of the E string, bending, whole step, okay? Like that, okay? Now, going back to the 17th fret E string, that is our A to C 20th fret. 20th fret of the B string, G bending up to A. All right, so there we go. Now, let's do that line again. And someone is asking what strings I'm using. I'm using 10 gauge strings on here. All right, so after that, we're going to go back to the 17th fret of the E string. That is our A. And then bending from G on the 20th fret of that E string up to A as well. All right, giving it a little vibrato helps too. All right, so now the next part, we're going to do that motif yet again. All right, so that gets repeated. Now we're going to do this. We are in the home stretch, folks. We're in the home stretch. Here is the next part. All right, so here's how we do that. I know this is probably a workout for some of you. This is a fun one. It's even a workout for me. It's nice to really play up here and break this down for all of you. And again, teaching this stuff, it makes me a better player too, so I so enjoy this. All right, so 17th fret E string, 17th fret B string. We're going to go to the 20th fret of that E string. We're going to bend it up 3 times. Like that. Now we go to the 17th fret E string, to the 20th fret E string, 20th fret B string, bending up a whole step. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, takes a little muscle, but you can do it. All right, so let's go ahead and look at what we've done so far with this one. All right, and again, if this is out of your learning level right now, don't worry. These are up on YouTube, and you can go and take it chunk by chunk and break it down to your pace. Okay, so here we go from the top. There you go. All right, we got one more part. Oh my gosh, we got one more part. We're done. This is great. So here's the final part here, and it's going to go like this. All right, so going to give our hands a little bit of relief here. First finger, placing that on the 17th fret of that E string. Third finger, 20th fret of the B string. Bending up. Landing on the 19th fret of the B string, 17th fret B string. So I'm landing on an E note there. All right, so here we go again. All right, I'm going to play through the whole thing. So, solo 3, the whole thing, and then we are done, folks. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. It's great. I appreciate the support. All right, so, and again, you want to check out all the stuff, the cool stuff Fishman is up to. There is a link in the video description. So, let's go ahead and play the rest of this, and we're going to call it a day. So, here we go. There we go. Then we go back to our intro. From there, verse and 4 choruses and out. And that is the tune. Look at that. We learned all the parts, all the solos, even the bass solo, which is super fun. Again, those of you, if you want to watch this again, it's going to be up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. As always, sending you so much good vibes in your musical journey. All right, wishing you much success. You guys can do this. I know this was a good one, right? We got a good workout. Take it in chunks, okay? Can't play anything fast, can't play slow. So there we go, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always, week after week. Those of you in LA, I'll be playing a show tonight at the Hotel Cafe second stage. I'll be playing some new tunes with my band. It's gonna be a blast. So if you're in town, please stop by. I would love to meet you. And yeah, this was a super fun one. Glad you guys enjoyed it. I will be out the next 2 weeks. So the next 2 will be pre-recorded. Have your acoustic guitars for the next 2 live lessons. All right? Everybody take good care. Wishing you much success as always. Have a great weekend.